Welcome back, Summoners, to another electrifying season of Alliance War. This season brings a whole new challenge, fresh nodes to learn, defenders hitting harder than ever, and bigger health pools to grind through. Every fight will be a test of skill, strategy, and execution, so stay tuned, smash that like button, and subscribe for more MCOC action. It's game time. Let's go. Welcome back, champions. War number 11 is here, and I'm sorry for the delay in getting this one out, but work travel kept me busy, and I just didn't have time to put the video together until now. In this one, we're up against 2-6, and we're still holding strong in Tier 2. I've got 7 fights lined up, and I'm bringing in Bastion, Ironheart, and weaponx for this one. Let's see how they can handle the battlefield. If you're enjoying this series, please don't forget to like and subscribe, and drop me a comment down below. Now let's get into the action. Alright, and for the first fight up, I'm going to be using weaponx on this Void. Not my typical champion that I would use for this fight, but it was fairly safe because weaponx is immune to the Petrify. So really, plan here is just 5-hit combos. You know, nothing special. Just let, weaponx do his thing. You know, we do throw a heavy in there to double up our charges real quick. And, a little bit slower than if I used Mole Man. But you'll see here, I go into Berserk. I am hoping he throws a special. There he goes. He finally throws a special. I am ticking down a little bit from Void's debuffs, but you can see I'm not getting any of the Petrifies. And here we go. Like I said, maybe a little slower than Mole Man, but overall, he worked fairly well. Now, admittedly, I am not a weaponx player. He is typically, if I use him at all, it's on defense in Battlegrounds. So the fact that I'm using him here for multiple fights in one war just speaks to how good he is with this current tactic. So here we're going to be using weaponx again, and kind of the same plan. There's nothing special on this node that is helping him. There's nothing that's really hurting him, and it's just going to be a standard Mantis fight. Ideally, I push her to special 2s and keep her from throwing special 1s. And, we're just going to try to ramp up our charges. And you notice there, I only got 1. 9 hits in, only 1 charge on him. So, a little bit slow. Not the biggest deal. I'm not too worried about it. Like I said, we're not really looking to do the ideal rotation with weaponx or come up with anything super or supreme. There, I was unblockable, but I didn't want to push her to a special 1 quite yet. I do there because then I knew I could throw my striker and get her to a special 2. And now we're going to toss our special 2. We finally get our Berserk Rage up. We are unblockable, so we can then push her right into a special 2. She throws that special 2, and of course, with Mantis, debuffs don't really stick very well, but specials hurt. So there we go. Quick little special 1 to finish her off, and we're through the first 2 fights. And we jump ahead to Section 2. And yes, believe it or not, we are using weaponx again. So here we go. Nothing on this fight that I'm too worried about. We just want to keep Longshot to throwing special 1s. We don't want to push him to a special 2. It wouldn't be the end of the world if we did, but just much easier for me to dex his special 1 and not have to worry about any of the other stuff that comes along with it. So here we go. Get a couple combos in. We get him to throw a special 1, which is nice. You can see, we're staying full health. Now we just need him to throw 1 more special 1. We are in our Berserk phase, so we'll start hitting like a truck. There, we do push him to a special 2, but at the same time, we kill him. All right, first 3 fights went exactly as planned. And right here is a little bit of where this war starts going off the rails. You can see here, I originally planned on taking this fight with Bastion. And I'm paused here, and I left this in because I'm outthinking myself. I'm thinking, hey, you know what? weaponx has done those first 3 fights fine. He is a great counter for Bullseye. Let's go ahead and use him. What I didn't think through was the fact that this node has heal block on it. So it's about here that I remember that. I'm like, oh, that's not going to work very well. And then we start taking hits, and we take this special, and I'm like, this isn't great. And here I start trying to play weaponx style and taking the hits into my face, and I'm like, oh, yeah, that doesn't work because of the heal block. I can't heal back up that damage. So now I'm kind of trying to figure out, can I make it through this? Is there a way for me to make it through this? And I'm trying. I'm trying. I just need him to throw a special, and then, of course, I take it in the face. And, well, that didn't work out too well for me. So I go back in, and I'm like, you know, I was originally going to use Bastion. There was a reason I was going to use Bastion. Let's try him. You know, what's the worst that can happen right now is, hey, we die. But what you're going to see here is, you know, not the ideal fight for Bastion because of the heal block and all that. I really, you know, would love to be able to heal up from all those bleeds that he does. You'll see the heal buff proc quite often in this fight. But at the same time, you know, he is bleed immune, so it's not like it's hurting me. And, you know, being a robot, he's a little bit tankier. So we're just going to have to fight this fight the way it's supposed to be done. We're going to fight it slow. We're going to take our time. And here we go. We drop a special 2. Push him over special 1. So we just need to bait out his special 1 again. There we go. And we're holding pretty good. You know, we've taken some chip damage, which is common in a Bullseye fight. Now here, we want to get a couple parries in. We want to make sure we got over that bar of power when we got to our second hit of our heavy. We do. We drop the special 1, and Bullseye melts. Should have used him all along. Probably could have done it without dying. All right, time to kind of regain our senses here a little bit. We're going to be using Ironheart for this fight. We've taken this fight before with her. We've taken Attuma's with her. I like it because she's got all the incinerate buffs that she puts on there, keeps his water stacks in check, and, you know, it's usually a fairly simple, straightforward fight. You know, it's just a matter of baiting out special 1s, stacking on the incinerates, you know, throwing our special 1s, stacking on more and more and more incinerates, just to keep the healing, you know, down and to keep his water stacks down, like I said earlier. So here we go. We've got that done. There is the first mess up. I went to Dex back, and the root timing happened to hit right at the second I was going to go back, and then I, well, just kind of failed to Dex there, and then, you know what, we failed to Dex again. So, you know, we're just throwing things right out the window. We are messing up big. We have really no incinerates on him because of all the damage we took. Now he throws a special, and okay, I'm starting to regain. I'm not in great health, but we're sitting at 30%. And there we go. We get rooted again mid-combo because I lost track of the timer. We do get a striker off. We do have our special up, so we're able to throw that. We finally have some incinerates back on there, so we, you know, knock down some of the healing. You know, not doing a very good job in this fight at all of paying attention to root. Don't know where my brain was. You know, just not a good start to this fight. And, you know, it is Attuma, so you are going to be taking some chip damage. I am really just trying to stack on the incinerates as much as possible. I am down to about 19%. I'm finally, for the first time in the fight, winning the health battle. Here, I'm just staying back. I could go in and hit him, but I want to bait a special 1. And you'll see here, you know, I talked for a very long time that I wanted to awaken my Ironheart. I think the heal that I got in this fight probably saved me, and we get through that fight without dying. And now we're going to go in. We've healed up. We're going to take on this Havok. You know, playing here, we're going to go in with Ironheart. We're going to throw on an invuln boost. We are going to make sure that we're in rupture mode, which we did earlier. Didn't show it in here. And here we go. So, keeping with the theme of me not thinking through fights, which was the kind of the theme for this war. Right here coming up, I forgot on this node he's going to go unblockable when I have, you know, the debuffs on me. Not a big deal. I've got a armor up, but I just kind of forgot about it. And there is the indestructible gone. And I don't know what I was thinking there, trying to go for a parry. And there I push him to a special 3. So, you know, kind of the combination of everything on that node just kind of got me, and I didn't think through it. So, you know, I'm going to revive. I'm going back in. I'm not really healing up. You know, I know the fight. I know how to fight Havok. I just kind of messed everything up. You know, forgot about the power snack on there. So when I dexed, of course, he gained power. Push him to a special 3. We're just going to have to watch out for these things as we go into this fight. Like I said, we're just going to go in with a revive. You know, this is how this fight should go. It is not anything that is real difficult. You know, we kind of make sure we dex before to let the power snack eat the dex so that I get my armor ups back in there. So I'm not blowing up. I'm actually healing up as we go. Idea here is push some special 2s, easy to dex. Here, you know, does throw a special 1. Not a big deal. I've got armor ups on there. You know, it is now just making sure that we get the opening that we want. There, we waited until all the debuffs were gone. And of course, as soon as we do that, we start taking more debuffs. So, you know, we just have to intercept. Not my favorite thing in the world to do, but, you know, we can do it. And there we go. You know, he's going to be up to a special 2 fairly quick. We're going to tap him a couple times. Now we can bait that special 2. We can dex the special 2. And now we're going to push him right back up to a special 2. We're going to use the striker. And then we're going to throw a special 1. And one thing that you'll notice on this fight too is I forgot to put the pre-fight on the second time around. Not the end of the world, but just something I forgot. That's how kind of confident I was in the fight the second time around, and there we go. How it should have gone the first time, unfortunately, my brain wasn't working in this war. All right, last fight, we have got this Negasonic Teenage Warhead. I was going to use Bastion here, but with the Conflictor, just decided, you know what, this has been a hard enough war. I've screwed up enough. Let's go with a champion that I'm very comfortable using, that this fight isn't a big deal. You know, I've got the cold snap immunity. I just can't hit her when the bleed is up. You know, it would have been the opposite with Bastion. Wouldn't have been able to hit her with a cold snap up, could hit her with a bleed. So, you know, it's just going to be a little bit slower fight. You know, it's not a big deal. There, we get hit by a special 1. Okay. Well, we're immune to her flames as well, so not the end of the world. Here, we hit her with our special, not thinking that she's going into bleed, and, you know, the bleeds start taking us down. So, you know, once again, keeping the theme up, just not playing as well as we could. Here, we're trying to get her to throw a special 1. There we take a hit, and she's not wanting to throw it. And there, hey, what do you know? We're just going to push her to a special 3. Why not? Completely forgot about Conflictor. So, you know, now we're just kind of sitting here hoping, oh, never mind, she throws a special 3. Great. We'll sit here and we'll watch the special 3 animation, and we're going to watch our health just drop. Fortunately, NTW doesn't hit too hard. Fortunately, I'm Incinerate immune. Now we just have to, hey, we get hit by the heavy. And there's that heal again. You know, like I said, always wanted Ironheart to be awakened, so I'd have that heal just in case. It may save me one day. And, well, you know what? It saved me again. So, you know, not the cleanest war, but we're done with it. Oof, that was an ugly, ugly war. 2 deaths and a bunch of fights that pushed me right to the edge. Definitely not my best showing. While the Alliance doesn't focus on war or worry about deaths, I still care, and this was a great reminder of how important it is to stay focused and really think through each fight before jumping in. We made it through, though, and now there's just one more war left in the season. Mini account fights are coming up next if you want to stick around for more. If not, please hit that like button, subscribe, and drop me a comment down below. Thanks for watching, and take care, all.